Hey everybody, I'm Ken Brant, and I'm an artist. This video is the long tutorial of the painting of the donuts that I did, and if you want to watch every brush stroke and have me explain everything that I'm painting and why I'm painting it, then this video is for you. If not, I'm also posting the time-lapse version so you can just watch it be painted and be done with it. So either way, your choice. If you want to see more long tutorials, then make sure you put that in the comments below and let me know, and make sure you like the video and also make sure you subscribe. Enjoy. So I'm going to do this painting on an 8x10 canvas, and what I did is, if you break this into thirds, if you notice right here, this was the area that I wanted to use for my focal point, because it's got a lot of contrast going on here. You got the dark background, you got the dark chocolate glaze, and then you have the white cream. So I wanted that right about there. That's right about where you want it. It's right in the golden mean area of the painting, and that's exactly where I want my focal point. And if you break this over here, this is another lighter area where the light is hitting this donut. There's a nice highlight on the chocolate glaze area right here on this donut, and so that's another area. So I'm going to have a focal point here, secondary focal point here, and then this white cream spot here. It's really nice because it has a dark area and a light area, so we kind of have this nice triangular effect going here, and I think that'll be very pleasing to the eye, and so that's what we're going to go with. And basically what I did, I just did a real rough outline of the donuts. I wasn't too concerned as long as the donuts were relatively same in size. You know, I drew them in. I knew it would be okay. So, and then I just kind of put in some, little lines here to represent some of the light areas and dark areas that I want to make sure I, get in there. And the same with the background. This is going to be relatively dark. There's going to be some light areas here. This is a light area where the light is kind of coming hidden on the background, and then it's coming reflecting down to here. So I'll put that in there, and that's what we're going to go with. So we'll see how that turns out. Okay, so here's the palette that I'm going to use. I have titanium white, I have cadmium yellow, and yellow ochre, and those three colors I'm going to primarily be using for the doughy part of the donut. And then I have ultramarine violet, and the reason I have that is because any shaded areas that I mix with the yellow ochre or the cadmium yellow, I'm going to use the ultramarine violet to offset those colors and to dull them down and gray them up, and that's what I'm going to use for some shaded areas. I think it'll be a really nice effect. Then I have some alizarin crimson, and there's not like a really lot of red in this setup, but the chocolate part, the chocolate glaze part, I was thinking that it would be really interesting to put a little bit of red in there, so maybe a couple brush strokes of that alizarin crimson on top of the chocolatey color. I think that'll work out really nice. And then I have some burnt sienna, and then I have burnt umber. The burnt umber is very close, almost identical to the color of the chocolate glaze on the donuts, but it might have a little bit redder tint to it, so that's why I have the burnt sienna, and I'll mix those two together and I should be able to come up with that color perfectly. And then next to that I have some raw umber, and next to that I have some asphaltum, and asphaltum is a really nice earthy color. It's kind of rich. This one has it's a Richardson's asphaltum. It has some yellowish colors mixed in with it, so that's a really nice color to use. I'll be using that also with the for the chocolate glaze. So those, primarily those last 4 colors there, I'll be using together on that area. And then I have some black, and I was thinking for the background of mixing the raw umber and the black, various amounts of that to for the dark background, and then I'll add white in there, and that will make a really nice gray color, and I think that'll work out nicely. So that's what I'm gonna go with. If I have to add any colors that I, as I'm going along, I'll let you know what those colors are. And so let's get to painting. Hope you don't mind that the camera angle is at a, coming in at an angle towards the painting. I did a painting earlier in the week, and I had the camera directly behind me, and my big head got in the way a lot. And I'm still not 100% sure if I'm going to even post any of that video, because it was annoying to see my head in the way. So it's still up in the air. It was a really nice painting of a mug. I'll show you that painting later, but yeah, my head just got in the way. So we're going to try shooting it from this angle, and I think that'll work best. So I'm starting with this mixture of raw umber and black. I have more raw umber than black in the painting, or in the colors here. And as you can see, if I stretch this out, you'll see it's a bit more brown than it is black, and that's what I want. I don't want a lot of black in there, but it makes it really, where it's thick, it makes it nice and dark. And I'm starting with my background first. Something I like to do. I don't always do it, but it is something I tend to do most. Is I'll start with my background first, and the reason I do that is because I think it helps me really set up my values for the subject matter, because this background is going to be the darkest dark. And you should always start with your darkest dark. And this will help me, because I know this area right here is going to be my focal point, and that's going to be very bright. So this will contrast with that, and I'll be able to judge just how bright that's going to be. And my belief when I'm painting is, when you're doing when you have contrasts, whatever your darkest dark is, you should have an equal value in bright. So what I'm saying is, whatever value your darkest dark is, your brightest bright should be just as bright as your dark is dark. That is what I try to achieve when I do a painting. And this area right here in the background is going to be the darkest dark. So I'm pretty much just going to paint in and fill in right around up until you get to the donut itself. And I can see in my setup, I can see there is a crease that comes down, and it comes down like right in here, but I don't think I want to put that in, because I really want this area here to blend in with my subject matter. So I may put it in. It really depends as the painting progresses, how I think it's going to look, because ultimately that's what's going to come down to, what you find looks best in your eye when you're painting. And if you don't like it, you can just put it back to the way it was. That's the wonderful thing of oil paints. You're not really stuck you're never stuck. You can always go over, fix. Sometimes what ends up happening is a lot of times I'll go to fix it and I'll go put the color in, and it just keeps mixing with whatever color I had originally put down, and that can cause an issue. So what I'll do is I'll just take a rag and I'll just wipe it right off. And the rags I like to use these shop towels, the blue shop towels, and they're nice and thick and sturdy, and so that's why I like using those. If you're wondering what kind of brush I'm using a Princeton Art and Brush Company brush. It's a Bright. It's a number 16. It's kind of my go-to brush for backgrounds. You know, because the background area is usually a fairly large area, so that gives me there's a nice area there to, enough area on that brush to cover it, relatively quickly. This is a really nice rich color. I'm really liking the way that looks. That raw umber and the black mixture, it's just a really nice dark rich. It's not black. It is a bit more on the brown side, but it's a nice color for a background. Now if it competes too much with the brown here on the glazing, what I can do is I can add a little bit more black and darken that up even more, so it's not affecting that. I always find when you're painting and you got your drawing in there, sometimes, and I'm guilty of this, I'll bring the paint right up to the line, but I don't go over the line. And what I've noticed in the past is sometimes if I don't go right up to the line, the object that I drew originally will end up tending to be a bit larger in the painting than what I intended, because I didn't completely go all the way to the edge. So I've learned over time, to actually go to the edge of the line, maybe go a little bit beyond it, because you want your colors to blend together, and where you want a nice straight edge, you can definitely put that in by pushing the other color. So I usually don't fret too much. And then we got some dark area over here. And it kind of veers off a little bit. We have some, it is kind of dark, but this is where the light is playing around on that fabric. Now I didn't tone my canvas or anything before I began. Sometimes I do. Not always, sometimes. It's personal preference. Some people don't like to paint right onto a white background. But I figured, because I have the white frosting, and the white frosting is going to be the whitest white. So the white of this canvas will help me keep that white as I can get it. And the other thing that makes that white really pop is whatever is around it. So if you have your darkest dark around your brightest bright, then that brightest bright will always be extremely bright looking. You almost want your focal point to have a glow to it. This isn't just exactly very bright here. This isn't all that bright in here. I do have some darker colors kind of mixed in here a little bit. Same with this. This isn't exactly completely bright. This is just slightly. And I don't use medium too often. I usually just use the straight oil paint. I don't usually mix too much with it. There are some colors that I find that I might have to, you know, kind of loosen up a little bit. Like yellow ochre comes out of the tube kind of hard, and sometimes I'll mix a little bit of medium with it, and the medium I like to use is the Flemish Merige, Old Masters Flemish Merige. It's very good stuff. That's what I like to use. All right. I think next we're going to get this chocolate area. Now this, from when I'm looking at my setup, I can actually see some of this donut reflecting in the top of this area over here, so that's going to look kind of cool. If I can get it to look the way it's supposed to. So here's the burnt umber. We're going to see how this looks up against here. It's pretty close. It's pretty close to that background already. Which isn't, you know, it's not a huge problem. I'll mix a little bit of burnt sienna with the burnt umber. Yeah, that kind of brightened it up a little bit. I like the way it looks. It's very close to the color that it actually is. So now I'm putting in my darkest areas of this frosting, or the chocolate glazing, I should say. Now the areas that I'm leaving slightly open, there are some other colors in there that I want to make sure I get in there, mix in with these browns. There is a bunch of chocolate glaze oozing down right into here. There's some. And it goes right there. And then what I'll do is I'll get some dark areas here. Kind of give that effect that, see how that looks? That's nice. I like that right there. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna get some of my light color in the background here. See how that, if you mix the titanium white with that mixture of that raw umber and black, you get this nice gray color, and I like it. This is actually darker in here. And we're lighter right in here. bend that a little bit. Looks like there's a fold in the fabric. Blend this together a little bit. You notice I haven't changed my brush yet. I'm still working with the same brush. I probably will in a moment here. So yeah, I'm just putting in the lighter areas of the fabric where I'm seeing the lighter areas. And it's not quite as bright back here. A little bit duller back here. And it's very bright over here. Very bright right here. It's actually way brighter than that even. And that brightness kind of continues on over here. So yeah, it's kind of sort of the effect I'm looking for. I'll have to go back and we'll work on that afterwards. A little bit better. Kind of give it that edge. Okay, I'm liking the way that looks. I need to get a little bit brighter here. And a little bit brighter here. So yeah, that looks nice. That's good. Okay, so next we're going to work on the breaded part of the donut. Okay, so I'm switching over to another brush, and this is a Winsor & Newton round number 6, and I'm going to tell you right now, I'm really liking this brush. This brush has done an amazing job for me, and it's been sitting in my can of brushes forever. I bought it some time ago. I don't even remember when I bought it, and I pulled it out looking for something that was kind of soft, you know, so I pulled this one out, and I've been using it, and it does great work. Okay, for this color here, I'm using I used yellow ochre, and I put in the mixture of the burnt sienna and the burnt umber. I mixed that in with the yellow ochre to get this area here. It's pretty close. It doesn't look like anything at the moment because we don't have any of the other colors around it to offset this, so it kind of almost looks out of place. Let me add a little bit more yellow ochre. Yeah, I'm going to need to get some yellow in there. And some titanium white. Yeah. So I'm just kind of going back and forth with the colors, the two colors a little bit. That needs to be darker in there. It's much darker inside this shaded area. And what I'll do is I'll add a bit of raw umber. And we got kind of some of that darker color in here as well. Not a huge amount, just a little bit. I did notice we got some there. Now this is where the bottom of this part of this donut here is reflecting onto the glazing a little bit. It's kind of making a really nice effect on that glazing. We kind of have the same thing going on over here, but it's from the light. And the light's coming up from underneath, and it's hitting this part of the donut, making it real bright. Gotta make sure we capture that. Okay. So let's get this area painted in. Okay, now here is where we just start filling in with some dashes of colors here and there that I see that are going to really make a nice effect. Okay, so now that we have a lot of these colors in here, I can see that I really didn't need to be too concerned about how this color was going to compare to the background color. I actually believe I could get it some even darker in here now. I think that's really going to make the difference here. So we got some nice dark chocolatey areas right in there. Same with over here. This is nice and dark in here. It's really good and dark in this area. Now what I'll do is I'll offset some of that . So I'm using that alizarin crimson, mixed in with some burnt sienna. There's like a really nice area right in here. Yeah, I like that. But I need to get that glow in here, where it's reflecting off the bottom of that other donut. So this is kind of mixing in a little bit over here. Okay, now for this I'm not too crazy about that. It's a little bit better. Took some of the raw umber titanium. I'm kind of mixing it a little bit. is the bright part of the donut. There. Okay, it goes just like this. Okay, let's get some of this white cream going, and that's going to be my brightest bright. We know that. This is straight titanium white right here. I'll put some titanium white over here, but I'm going to mix this a little bit with that slightly grayish color, just so it's not quite as bright. And we do have some cream on this donut over here. It's not a lot though, it just seems to be a point, just a little bit. There is a dark line of chocolate right in here where it's kind of, and then it's going right into over here. It should be dark right in here though too. Just right there. Now I am seeing a bit of a highlight, like back reflection onto this top of the donut right here. This is just some yellow ochre. Now there is a couple little dark areas, so we can start bringing out this where the cream is sticking out. So right underneath it. Kinda. Okay, now the light's really hitting this area right in here, so I gotta really make sure we get a good highlight on that. Okay, it's looking pretty good. I'm liking it. This area here does not really look like somebody took a bite out of this though. Because definitely need to get some dark area in here bring that out a little bit. It's looking a little better. Okay, so now I'm using some black, kind of ground these donuts a little bit onto this where they're sitting. And this is real dark in here. See, this is what I like about this brush. I can flatten it almost, this round brush. Okay, so this fabric kind of comes down, it comes a little bit into here, kind of making this little concaved area a little bit. Oh, that looks good. Working on the background a little bit. I remember earlier I said there was a crease that comes down in here. I may just put that in there. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe not. We'll take it back out. Alrighty. Go to a slightly smaller brush. This is a Winsor Newton round 00. Okay. Really gotta get a nice shadow underneath that cream there. Okay. Starting to look like it's someone took a bite out of that. Not a lot, but a little bit. Okay, so remember, this is my focal point area. I'm still not happy with this right in here. It still doesn't look quite the way I want it to look. And this was going to be like a secondary focal point. Right now it's the cream, which is fine. You know, I could make the cream that secondary focal point, not concentrate so much here, but the light is hitting this area and really bringing that out. And I did think that was kind of cool. So I would like to bring that out a little bit more. And this area here needs to be touched up a little bit. I'm thinking just get a nice splash of white in there. Yeah, that really helps it right there. And this has yeah, I'm liking that. That looks good. So this area here just needs to be worked on, and we'll work on the background a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this set up a little bit, and then I'll be able to come back and hit it with some a couple more darker areas, kind of bring out this glazing a bit. This area here though really needs to be brought out a little bit, but I want to keep it those colors. It looks like the light is reflecting. Yeah, that looks pretty good now. Yeah, I'm liking that. So yeah, that looks good now. So I'm gonna let this set up a little bit, and we'll come back and we'll I'll hit it with some darker colors in some areas, and it'll stick a little bit better. It won't be mixing with the wet colors that are there now, because it'll be a little bit harder to get the dark in there. I could, but I'll just be, it'll just be more difficult to, work with it. So I'll let it set up a little bit, make it a little easier, come back and we'll hit some areas, and then this painting should be done. So we're ready to get back to painting, but look what happened to my setup. The chocolate glaze has melted off the top of my donut. So luckily, we took a photo of our setup, but I already got this part painted, so it shouldn't really, make too much of a difference. So yeah, note to self: next time, do not get chocolate glazed donuts. Okay, so we let the painting set up for a little bit, and so now I should be able to come back in here and hit it with some more colors and really bring out the reflective areas that I'm looking for in these two donuts. So first I'd like to work on this area right here and kind of really make that look the way I see it. And there is some light area right in here. There's also some dark spot right in here. Okay, so there's some nice dark areas right in here. You see how the paint's already taking to it nicely without mixing with what I had there previously, and I'm able to make some nice ridges here with this dark color. Really looks like the chocolate is, you know, hanging over, dripping over the edge, which is exactly the look I was going for. And I want to bring out this reflective area on the top of the donut that I'm seeing here. And it looks like it's a mixture of yellow ochre, some yellow, some titanium white. Let's see how this looks. It might be too bright. Yeah, it might be too bright. I mixed some of the burnt sienna in there, kind of, yeah. That's more like what I'm looking for right there. Yeah, so that kind of has a little bit of a glow to it, but then I need to highlight that area where it's got a bit of the glow to it. Soften this up a little bit. We have a So I like that spot there, which I'm seeing, but it's not quite as, solid as that. It's, the edges are kind of softer. Yes, like that. I'm liking that. Okay, so now I need to work on this area, which is really bugging me. So here's where I'm going to use the ultramarine violet to gray down some yellow. I used so I got some cadmium yellow, some yellow ochre, and the ultramarine violet, and that's going to make a nice, hopefully that's going to make a nice darker area in here, because this is actually, there's a shadow in here. And that's where I'm losing this look that someone took a bite out of this donut. It might actually have to be darker than that even. Okay, so yeah, it's getting close to what I want, but I still need to make this edge come out a little bit more. It's too bright. There's some darker chocolate in this area right here. Have that come down. Okay, I lost a little bit of the highlight that I had here. Let me bring that back. Okay. Still think this needs to be darker. It can't be even because we got it's cream and it's kind of all over the place, so we need it to make it look like it's cream. I think where I'm losing it right here is this edge right here. It's not, it needs to pop enough where it looks like it's an edge. I think that's what's happening. I'm not getting a good edge on it. So if I want this to make this look brighter, I gotta make that area look darker. No way around it. There. And now I should be able to come in there with some more cream color, which is basically just straight titanium white. Yeah, I'm not too happy with that. I need to make that a better color. Okay, that's a little bit better. Okay. I'm liking it. We can. So now basically all I'm doing is I'm just doing some touch up in some areas, kind of make it look a little bit better than what it was. Yes, much better. Okay. I like it. Okay, do need to just bring in this line just a little bit here. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes. I think we have ourselves a fairly decent painting here. I'm liking it. I like the reflection of the donut. That looks good. Maybe, you know, could put some a little bit darker in here, kind of highlight this a little bit more. Why don't we try that? This will help this area right in here. Okay. So, I'm squinting my eyes. This is my focal point. I wanted this to be kind of like the secondary, but this might be. I think these are of equal value, which is good. That's what you want. You know, if you're doing a triangle, I don't want these two competing with this. This is definitely my brightest bright, and here's my darkest dark. I kind of like the background the way it is. I'm not going to touch it up anymore. I think it's nice. Let me just blend some edges. You know, really, be really all I'm going to do here. I like it. I think we'll call this one done.